Hiya, family. My name is Donna. You might know me as the lady who says, young man. But we're on part 6 of, yes, he knows our heart, but do we know his? And just bear with me 1 minute, because I want to invite people, post it in our group chat, so that way other people can see that I'm online. And we're starting in chapter 12. And just bear with me 1 minute, family. Okay, where is it? Okay, I'm trying to find there we go. It wasn't there. Okay, in the group. There we go. I think. Come on. Okay, well, as I said, I'm going to start in chapter 12. I'm sorry I had to stop for a little over an hour. I was evidently the sink underneath my kitchen sink, a leak, as if, it's okay. It's getting better, right? Okay, so I'm going to start in chapter 12. And, okay, here we go. Sorry nobody's here, but you know what? There is replay, so I hope you actually take the time to watch it. Okay, we're on chapter 12. The word of Yahuwah also came unto me, saying, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not. They have ears to hear and hear not, for they are a rebellious house. Therefore, thou, son of man, prepare thee stuff for removing, and remove by day in their sight, and thou shalt remove from thy place to another place in their sight. It may be they will consider, though they may be a rebellious house. Then shalt thou bring forth thy stuff by day in their sight, as stuff for removing, and thou shalt go forth at even in their sight, as they that go forth into captivity. Dig thou through the wall in their sight, and carry out thereby. In their sight shalt thou bear it up upon thy shoulders, and carry it forth in the twilight. Thou shalt cover thy face, that thou see not the ground. For I have set thee for a sign unto the house of Yesharel. And I did so as I was commanded. I brought forth my stuff by day, as stuff for captivity, and in the even I digged through the wall with mine hand. I brought it forth in the twilight, and I bear it I bear it upon my shoulder in their sight. And in the morning came the word of Yahuwah unto me, saying, Son of man, hath not the house of Yesharel, the rebellious house, said unto thee, What doest thou? Say thou unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, this burden concerneth the prince in Jerusalem, and all the house of Yesharel that are among them. Say, I am your sign, like as I have done, so shall it be done. Unto them they shall remove and go into captivity, and the prince that is among them shall bear upon his shoulder in the twilight, and shall go forth. They shall dig through the wall to carry out thereby. He shall cover his face, that he see not the ground with his eyes. My net also will I spread upon him, and he shall be taken in my snare. And I will bring him to Babylon, to the land of the Chaldeans, yet shall he not see it. though he shall die there. And I will scatter toward every wind all that are about him to help him, and all his bands, and I will draw out the sword after them. And they shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I shall scatter them among the nations and disperse them in the countries. But I will leave a few men of them from the sword, from the famine, and from the pestilence, that they may declare all their abominations among the heathen, whither they come, and they shall know that I am Yahuwah. Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, eat thy bread with quaking, and drink thy water with trembling and with carefulness, and say unto the people of the land, Thus saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, of the inhabitants of Jerusalem and of the land of Yesharel. They shall eat their bread with carefulness, and drink their water with astonishment, that her land may be desolate from all that is therein, because of the violence of all them that dwell therein. And the cities that are inhabited shall be laid waste, and the land shall be desolate, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Yesharel, saying, The days are prolonged, and every vision faileth? Tell them therefore, Thus saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Yesharel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. For there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Yesharel. For I am Yahuwah, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak will come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged, for in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and will perform it, saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah. Again, the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Yesharel say, The vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesieth of the time that are far off. Therefore say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah. I have a customer in here, but I'm just going to wait for her to come up. So I think she's still in the back. Well, okay, hold on for 1 minute, okay, guys? Shalom, family. Sorry about that. Chapter 13. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Yasharel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, Hear ye the word of Yahuwah. You notice what it says. I'm going to read that again. Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Yasharel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts. Hear ye the word of Yahuwah. It's coming from their own hearts. Thus saith HalleluYah, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Yasharel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Yasharel to stand in the battle in the days of Yahuwah. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, Yahuwah saith, and Yahuwah hath not sent them, and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. Have ye not seen a vain vision, and have ye not spoken a lying divination, whereas ye say, Yahuwah saith it, albeit I have not spoken? Therefore, thus saith HalleluYah, because ye have spoken vanity and seen lies, therefore, behold, I am against you, saith HalleluYah. And mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Yasharel, neither shall they enter into the land of Yasharel, and ye shall know that I am HalleluYah. Because they have seduced my people, saying peace, and there was no peace, and one built up a wall, and lo, others daubed it with untempered mortar. Say unto them which daub it with untempered mortar, that it shall fall. There shall be an overflowing shower, and ye, O great hailstones, shall fall, and a stormy wind shall rend it. Lo, when the wall is fallen, shall it not be said unto you, Where is the daubing wherewith ye have daubed it? Therefore, thus saith HalleluYah, I will even rend it with a stormy wind in my fury, and there shall be an overflowing shower in mine anger, and great hailstones in my fury to consume it. So will I break down the wall that ye have daubed with untempered mortar, and bring it down to the ground, so that the foundation thereof shall be discovered, and it shall fall, and ye shall be consumed in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. Thus will I accomplish my wrath upon the wall, and upon them that have daubed it with untempered mortar, and will say unto you, The wall is no more, neither they that daubed it. To wit, the prophets of Yasharel, which prophesy concerning Jerusalem, and which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, saith HalleluYah. Likewise, thou, son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesy out of their own heart, prophesy thou against them, and say, Thus saith HalleluYah, woe to the woman that sew pillows to all armholes, and make kerchiefs upon the head of every stature to hunt souls. Will ye hunt the souls of my people? And will ye save the souls alive that come up unto you? And will ye pollute me among my people for handfuls of barley and for pieces of bread, to slay the souls that should not die, and to save the souls alive that should not live, by your lying to my people that hear your lies? Wherefore, thus saith HalleluYah, behold, I am against your pillows, wherewith ye then there hunt the souls to make them fly, and I will tear them from your arms, and will let the souls go, even the souls that ye hunt to make them fly. Your kerchiefs also will I tear, and deliver my people out of your hand, and they shall be no more in your hand to be hunted, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. Because with lies ye have made the heart of the righteous sad, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked, and he should not return from his wicked way by promising him life. Therefore ye shall see no more vanity, nor divine divinations, for I will deliver my people out of your hand, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. Chapter 14. Then came certain of the elders of Yesharel unto me, and sat before me. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up their idols in their heart, and put the stumbling block of their iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired at all by them? Therefore speak unto them, and say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah HalleluYah. Every man of the house of Yesharel that settleth up his idols in his heart, and putteth the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and cometh to the prophet, I, Yahuwah, will answer him that cometh according to the multitude of his idols, that I may take the house of Yesharel in their own heart, because they are all estranged from me through their idols. Therefore say unto the house of Yesharel, Thus saith Yahuwah HalleluYah, repent, and turn yourselves from your idols, and turn away from your faces from all your abominations. For every one of the house of Yesharel, or of the stranger that sojourneth in Yesharel, which separateth himself from me, and settleth up his idols in his heart, and putteth the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and cometh to a prophet to inquire of him concerning me, I, Yahuwah, will answer him by myself. And I will set my face against that man, and will make him a sign and a proverb, and I will cut him off from the midst of my people, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. And if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, Yahuwah, I, Yahuwah, have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him, and will destroy him from the midst of my people, Yesharel. And they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him, that the house of Yesharel may go no more astray from me, neither be polluted any more with all their transgressions, but that they may be my people, and I may be their Aluah, saith Yahuwah HalleluYah. The word of Yahuwah came again to me, saying, Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out mine hand upon it, and will break the staff of the bread thereof, and will set famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. Though these three men Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, saith Yahuwah HalleluYah. If I cause noisome beasts to pass through the land, and they spoil it, so that it be desolate, that no man may pass through because of the beast, though these three men were in it, as I live, saith Yahuwah HalleluYah, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, they only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate. Or if I bring a sword upon that land, and say, Sword, go through the land, so that I cut off man and beast from it, though these three men were in it, as I live, saith Yahuwah HalleluYah, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they only shall be delivered themselves. Or if I send a pestilence into the land, and pour out my fury upon it in blood, to cut off from it man and beast, Though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, saith HalleluYah, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter. They shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness. Sorry. For thus saith HalleluYah, how much more when I send my 4 sore judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast. Yet, behold, therein shall be left a remnant that shall be brought forth, both sons and daughters. Behold, they shall come forth unto you, and ye shall see their way and their doings, and ye shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, even concerning all that I have brought upon it. And they shall comfort you when ye see their ways and their doings, and ye shall know that I have not done without cause all that I have done in it, saith HalleluYah. Chapter 15. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is the vine tree more than any tree, or than a branch which is among the trees of the forest? Shall wood be taken thereof to do any work, or will men take a pin of it to hang any vessel thereon? Behold, it is cast into the fire for fuel. The fire devoureth both the ends of it, and the midst of it is burned. Is it meat for any work? Behold, when it was whole, it was met for no work. It was meat for no work. How much less shall it be meat yet for any work, when the fire hath devoured it, and it is burned? Therefore, thus saith HalleluYah, as the vine tree among the trees of the forest, which I have given to the fire for fuel, so will I give the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and I will set my face against them. They shall go out. They shall go out from fire, and another fire shall devour them. And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I set my face against them, and I will make the land desolate, because they have committed trespass, saith HalleluYah. Chapter 16. Again, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, Thus saith Yahuwah unto Jerusalem, the birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. The father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite. And as for the nativity, in the days thou wast born, thy navel was not cut, neither wast thou washed in water to supple thee. Thou wast not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. None I pitied thee to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion unto thee, but thou wast cast out in the open field, to the loathing of thy person, in the day that thou wast born. And when I passed by thee, and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. Yea, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments. Thy breasts are fashioned, and thine hair is grown, whereas thou wast not naked and bare. Now when I passed by thee, and looked upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love, and I spread my skirt over thee, and covered thy nakedness. Yea, I swear unto thee, and entered into a covenant with thee, saith HalleluYah, and thou becamest mine. Then washed I thee with water, yea, I thoroughly washed away the blood from thee, and I anointed thee with oil. I clothed thee also with broidered work, and shod thee with badger skin, and I girded thee about with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk. I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hand, and a chain on thy neck. And I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thine ears, and a beautiful crown upon thine head. Thus wast thou decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was of fine linen, and silk, embroidered work. Thou didst eat fine flour, and honey, and oil, and thou wast exceedingly beautiful, and thou didst prosper into a kingdom, and thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty. For it was perfect through my comeliness, which I had put upon thee, saith HalleluYah. But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, and playest the harlot because of thy renown. And pourest out thine fornication on every one that passed by, his it was. And of the garments thou didst take, and deckest thy high places with diverse colors, and played the harlot thereupon. The like things shall not come, neither shall it be so. Thou hast also taken thy fair jewels of my gold and my silver, which I have given thee, and madest to thyself images of men, and didst commit whoredom with them, and tookest thy broidered garments, and coverest them, and thou hast set mine oil and mine incense before them, my meat also which I gave thee, fine flour, and oil, and honey, wherewith I fed thee. Thou hast even set it before them for a sweet savor, and thus it was, saith HalleluYah. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast borne unto me, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter, that thou hast slain my children, and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them? And in all thine abominations and thine whoredoms thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou wast naked and bare, and wast polluted in thy blood. And it came to pass after all the wickedness, woe, woe unto thee, saith HalleluYah. That thou hast also built unto thee an eminent place, and hast made thee an high place in every street. Thou hast built thy high places at every head of the way, and hast made thy beauty to be abhorred, and hast opened thy feet to every one that passed by, and multiplied thy whoredoms. Thou hast also committed fornications with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, great of flesh, and hast increased thy whoredoms to provoke me to anger. Behold, therefore I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee, the daughters of the Philistines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way. Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians, because thou wast insatiable. Yea, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea, and yet thou wast not satisfied herewith. How weak is thine heart, saith HalleluYah, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious, whorish woman, in that thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way, and makest thine high places in every street, and hast not been as an harlot, in that thou scornest hire. But as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest the gifts thy gifts to all thy lovers, and hirest them, that there may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom. And the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredoms, whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredoms, and in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee. Therefore thou art contrary. Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through the whoredoms with thy lovers, and with all the idols of the abominations, and by the blood of thy children which thou didst give unto them. Behold, therefore, I will gather all thy lovers, with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated, and I will even gather them around about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness unto them, that they may see all thy nakedness. And I will judge thee as women that break wedlock and shed blood are judged. And I will give thee blood in fury and jealousy, and I will also give thee into their hands, that they shall throw down thine eminent place, and shall break down thy high places. They shall strip thee also of thy clothes, and shall take thy fair jewels, and leave thee naked and bare. They shall also bring up a company against thee, and they shall stone thee with stones, and thrust thee through with their swords. And they shall burn thine houses with fire, and execute judgments upon thee in the sight of many women. And I will cause thee to cease from playing the harlot, and thou also shalt give no hire any more. So will I make my fury toward thee to rest, and my jealousy shall depart from thee, and I will be quiet, and will be no more angry, because thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, but hast fretted me in all these things. Behold, therefore, I also will recompense thy way upon thine head, saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, and thou shalt not commit this lewdness above all thine abominations. Behold, every one that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. Thou art thy mother's daughter, that loatheth her husband and her children, and thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loathe their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite, and your father an Amorite, and thine elder sister is Maria, she and her daughters that dwell at thy left hand, and thy younger sister that dwelleth at the right hand is Sodom and her daughters. Yet hast thou not walked after their ways, nor done after their abominations, but as if that were a very little thing, thou wast corrupted more than they in all thy ways. As I live, saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, Sodom, thy sister, hath not done, she nor her daughters, as thou hast done, thou and thy daughters. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom, pridefulness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her, and in her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. And they were haughty and committed abominations before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw good. Neither hath Samaria committed half of these thy sins, but thou hast multiplied thine abominations more than they, and hast justified thy sisters in all thine abominations which thou hast done. Thou also, which hast judged the sisters, bear thine own shame, for thy sins that thou hast committed more abominable than they are more righteous than thou. Yea, be thou confounded also, and bear thy shame. in that thou hast justified thy sisters. Hold on one second. I want to see something, family. Okay. Just want to check something. When I when I shall bring again their captivity, the captivity of Sodom and her daughters, and the captivity of Samaria and her daughters, then will I bring again the captivity of thy captives in the midst of them, that thou mayest beat thine own shame, and mayest be confounded in all that thou hast done, in that thou art a comfort unto them. When thy sisters, Sodom and her daughters, shall return to their former estate, and Samaria and her daughters shall return to their former estate, then thy daughters shall return to your former estate. For thy sister Sodom was not mentioned by the mouth in the day of thy pride, before thy wickedness was discovered, as at the time of thy reproach of the daughters of Syria, and all that are round about her, the daughters of the Philistines, which despise thee round about. Thou hast borne thy lewdness, and thine abomination, saith Yahuwah. For thus saith HalleluYah, I will even deal with thee as thou hast done, which hast despised the oath in breaking the covenant. Nevertheless, I will remember my covenant with thee in the days of thy youth, and I will establish unto thee an everlasting covenant. Then thou shalt remember thy ways, and be ashamed, when thou shalt receive thy sisters, thine elder and thy younger, and I will give them unto thee for daughters, but not by thy covenant. And I will establish my covenant with thee, and thou shalt know that I am Yahuwah, that thou mayest remember and be confounded, and never open thy mouth any more because of thy shame, when I am pacified towards thee for all that thou hast done, saith HalleluYah. Chapter 17. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, put forth a riddle, and speak a parable unto the house of Yeshurel, and say, Thus saith HalleluYah, a great eagle with great wings, long-winged, full of feathers, which had diverse colors, came unto Lebanon, and took the highest branch of the cedar. He cropped off the top of his young twigs, and carried it into the land of traffic. He set it in a city of merchants. He took also of the seed of the land, and planted it in the fruitful field. He placed it by great waters, and set it as a willow tree. And it grew, and became a spreading vine, and low stature, whose branches turned towards him, and the roots thereof were under him. So it became a vine, and brought forth branches, and shot forth sprigs. There was also another great eagle with great wings, and many feathers. And behold, this vine did bend her roots toward him, and shot forth her branches toward him, that he might water it by the furrows of her plantation. It was planted in a good soil by great waters, that it might bring forth branches, and that it might bear fruit, that it might be a goodly vine. Say thou, Thus saith HalleluYah, Shall it prosper? Shall he not pull up the roots thereof, and cut off the fruit thereof, that it wither? It shall wither in the leaves of her spring, even without great power or many people to pluck it up by the roots thereof? Yea, behold, being planted shall it prosper, shall it not utterly wither? When the east wind toucheth it, it shall wither in the furrows where it grew. Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Say now to the rebellious house, Know ye not what these things mean? Tell them, Behold, the king of Babylon is come to Jerusalem, and hath taken the king thereof, and the princes thereof, and led them with him to Babylon, and hath taken of the king's seed, and made a covenant with him, and hath taken an oath of him. He hath also taken the mighty of the land, that the kingdom might be base, that it might not lift itself up, but that by keeping of his covenant it might stand. But he rebelled against him. But he rebelled against him in sending his ambassadors into Egypt, that they might give him horses and much people. Shall he prosper? Shall he escape that doeth such things? Or shall he break the covenant and be delivered? As I live, saith HalleluYah, surely in the place where the king dwelleth, that made him king, whose oath he despised, and whose covenant he brake, even with him, in the midst of Babylon, he shall die. Neither shall Pharaoh with his mighty army and great company make for him in the war by casting up mounts and building forts to cut off many persons, seeing he despised the oath by breaking the covenant, when, lo, he had given his hand and hath done all these things, he shall not escape. Therefore, thus saith HalleluYah, as I live, surely mine oath that he hath despised, and my covenant that he hath broken, even it will I recompense upon his own head. And I will spread my net upon him, and he shall be taken in my snare, and I will break him to Babylon, and will plead with him there for his trespass that he hath trespassed against me. And all his fugitives with all his bands shall fall by the sword, and they that remain shall be scattered toward all winds, and ye shall know that I, Yahuwah, have spoken it. Thus saith HalleluYah, I will also take of the highest branch of the high cedar, and will set it. I will crop off from the top of his younger twigs a tender one, and will plant it upon an high mountain and eminent. In the mountain of the height of Yesharel will I plant it, and it shall bring forth boughs and bear fruit, and be a goodly cedar, and under it shall dwell all fowl of every wing. In the shadow of the branches thereof shall they dwell. And all the trees of the field shall know that I, Yahuwah, have brought down the high tree, have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree, and have made the dry tree to flourish. I, Yahuwah, have spoken and have done it. Chapter 18. The word of Yahuwah came unto me again, saying, What mean ye, that ye use this proverb concerning the land of Yesharel, saying, The fathers have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge. As I live, saith HalleluYah, ye shall not have occasion any more to use this proverb in Yesharel. Behold, all souls are mine, as the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. But if a man be just, and do that which is lawful and right, and hath not eaten upon the mountains, neither hath lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Yesharel, neither hath defiled his neighbor's wife, neither hath come near to a menstruous woman, and hath not oppressed any, but hath restored to the debtor his pledge, hath spoiled none by violence, hath given his bread to the hungry, and hath covered the naked with a garment. He that hath not given forth upon usury, neither hath taken any increase, that hath withdrawn his hand from iniquity, hath executed true judgment between man and man, hath walked in my statutes, and hath kept my judgments. To deal truly, he is just, he shall surely live, saith HalleluYah. If he beget a son, that that is a robber, a shedder of blood, and that doeth the like at any one of these things, and that doeth not any of those duties, but even hath eaten upon the mountains, and defiled his neighbor's wife, hath oppressed the poor and needy, hath spoiled by violence, hath not restored the pledge, and hath lifted up his eyes to the idols, hath committed abomination, hath given forth upon usury, and hath taken increase, shall he then live? He shall not live. He hath done all these abominations, he shall surely die. His blood shall be upon him. Now, lo, if he beget a son that seeth all his father's sins, which he hath done, and considereth, and doeth not such like, that hath not eaten upon the mountains, neither hath lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Yasharel, hath not defiled his neighbor's wife, neither hath oppressed any, hath not withholden this pledge, neither hath spoiled by violence, but hath given his bread to the hungry, and hath covered the naked with a garment. Thus hath taken off his hand from the poor, that hath not received usury, nor increase hath executed my judgments, hath walked in my statutes. He shall not die for the iniquity of his father, he shall surely live. As for his father, because he cruelly oppressed, spoiled his brother by violence, and did that which is not good among his people, lo, even he shall die in his iniquity. Yet say ye, why? Yet say ye, why? Doth not the son bear the iniquity of the father, when the son hath done that which is lawful and right, and hath kept all my statutes, and hath done them? He shall surely live. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. But if the wicked will turn from all his sins that he hath, turn away from all of his sins that he hath committed, and keep all my statutes, and do that which is lawful and right, he shall surely live, he shall not die. All his transgressions that he hath committed, they shall not be mentioned unto him. In his righteousness that he hath done, he shall live. Have I any pleasure at all that the wicked should die, saith Yahuwah HalleluYah, and not that he should return from his ways and live? But when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness, and committeth iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? All his righteousness that he hath done shall not be mentioned. In his trespass that he hath trespassed, and in his sin that he hath sinned, in them shall he die. Yet ye say, the way of Yahuwah is not equal. Hear now, O house of Yasharel, is not my way equal? Are not your ways unequal? When a righteous man turneth away from his righteousness, and committeth iniquity, and dieth in them, for his iniquity that he hath done shall he die. Again, when the wicked man turneth away from his wickedness that he hath committed, and doeth that which is lawful and right, he shall save his soul alive. Because he considereth and turneth away from all his transgressions that he hath committed, he shall surely live, he shall not die. Yet saith the house of Yasharel, the way of Yahuwah is not equal. O house of Yasharel, are not my ways equal? Are not your ways unequal? Therefore I will judge you, O house of Yasharel, every one according to his way, saith Yahuwah HalleluYah. Repent, and turn yourselves from your transgressions, so iniquity shall not be your ruin. Cast away from you all your transgressions whereby ye have transgressed, and make you a new heart and a new spirit. For why will ye die, O house of Yasharel? For I have no pleasure in the death of him that dieth, saith HalleluYah. Wherefore turn yourselves and live ye. Chapter 19. Moreover, take thou up a lamentation for the princes of Yasharel, and say, what is thy mother? A lioness? She lay down among lions. She nourished her whelps among young lions. And she brought up one of her whelps. It became a young lion, and it learned to catch the prey. It devoured men. The nations also heard of him. He was taken in their pit, and they brought him with chains unto the land of Egypt. Now when she said that she had waited, and her hope was lost, then she took another of her whelps and made him a young lion. And he went up and down among the lions. He became a young lion and learned to catch the prey and devoured men. And he knew their desolate palaces, and he laid waste their cities, and the land was desolate, and the fullness thereof by the noise of his roaring. Then the nations set against him on every side from the provinces, and spread their net over him. He was taken in their pit, and they put him in wards, in chains, and brought him to the king of Babylon. They brought him into holds, that his voice should no more be heard upon the mountains of Yasharel. Thy mother is like a vine in thy blood, planted by the waters. She was fruitful and full of branches by reason of many waters. And she had strong rods for the scepters of them that bear rule. And her stature was exalted among the thick branches. And she appeared in her height with the multitude of her branches. But she was plucked up in a fury. She was cast down to the ground, and the east wind dried up her fruit. Her strong rods were broken and withered. The fire consumed them, and now she is planted in the wilderness, in a dry and thirsty ground, and fire is gone out of a rod of her branches, which hath devoured her fruit, so that she hath no strong rod to be a scepter to rule. This is a lamentation, and shall be for a lamentation. Chapter 20. And it came to pass in the 7th year, in the 5th month, the 10th day of the month, that certain of the elders of Yasharel came to inquire of Yahuwah, and sat before me. Then came the word of Yahuwah unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto the elders of Yasharel, and say unto them, Thus saith HalleluYah, Are ye come to inquire of me? As I live, saith HalleluYah, I will not be inquired of by you. Wilt thou judge them, son of man? Wilt thou judge them, cause them to know the abominations of their fathers? And say unto them, Thus saith HalleluYah, in the day when I chose Yasharel, and lifted up mine hand unto the seed of the house of Jacob, and made myself known unto them in the land of Egypt, when I lifted up mine hand unto them, saying, I am Yahuwah your Eluah. In the day that I lifted up mine hand unto them, to bring them forth of the land of Egypt, into a land that I had espied for them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. Then said I unto them, Cast ye away every man the abominations of his eyes, and defile family, and defile not yourselves. Ooh. Oh wow, evidently you can take a picture. Defile not yourselves with the idols of Egypt. I am Yahuwah your Eluah. But they rebelled against me, and would not hearken unto me. They did not every man's cast away the abominations of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them to accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt. But I wrought for my name's sake, that it should not be polluted before the heathen, among whom they were, in whose sight I made myself known unto them, in bringing them forth out of the land of Egypt. Wherefore I caused them to go forth out of the land of Egypt, and brought them into the wilderness. And I gave them my statutes, and shewed them my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths, to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am Yahuwah, that sanctify them. But the house of Yasharel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They walked not in my statutes, and they despised my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. And my Sabbaths they greatly polluted. Then I said, I would pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them. But I wrought for my name's sake, that it should not be polluted before the heathen, in whose sight I brought them out. Yet also I lifted up my hand unto them in the wilderness, that I would not bring them into the land which I had given them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. Because they despised my judgments, and walked not in my statutes, but polluted my Sabbaths, for their heart went after their idols. Nevertheless, mine eyes sparred them from destroying them, neither did I make an end of them in the wilderness. But I said unto their children in the wilderness, walk, yea, not in those statutes of your fathers, neither observe their judgments, nor defile yourselves with their idols. I am Yahuwah your Eluah. Walk in my statutes and keep my judgments, and do them, and hallow my Sabbaths, and they shall be a sign between me and you, that ye may know that I am Yahuwah your Eluah. Notwithstanding, the children rebelled against me. They walked not in my statutes, neither kept my judgments to do them, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. They polluted my Sabbaths. Then I said I would pour out my fury upon them to accomplish my anger against them in the wilderness. Nevertheless, I withdrew mine hand and wrought for my name's sake, that it should not be polluted in the sight of the heathen, in whose sight I brought them forth. I lifted up mine hand unto them also in the wilderness, that I would scatter them among the heathen, and disperse them through the countries, because they had not executed my judgments, but had despised my statutes, and had polluted my Sabbaths, and their eyes were after their fathers' idols. Wherefore I gave them also statutes that were not good, and judgments whereby they should not live. And I polluted them in their own gifts, in that they caused to pass through the fire all that openeth the womb, that I might make them desolate, to the end that they might know that I am Yahuwah. Therefore, Son of man, speak unto the house of Yasharel, and say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah Eluah, Yet in this your fathers have blasphemed me, in that they have committed a trespass against me. For when I had brought them into the land, for the which I lifted up mine hand to give it to them, then they saw every high hill and all the thick trees, and they offered their sacrifices, and they presented the provocation of their offerings. There also they made their sweet savor, and poured out their drink offerings. Then I said unto them, What is the high place whereunto ye go? And the name thereof is called Bama unto this day. Wherefore I say unto the house of Yasharel, Thus saith Yahuwah Eluah, Are ye polluted after the manner of your fathers, and commit ye whoredom after their abominations? For when ye offer your gifts, when ye make your sons to pass through the fire, ye pollute yourselves with all your idols, even unto this day. And shall I be inquired of by you, O house of Yeshurel? As I live, saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, I will not be inquired of by you. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone. As I live, saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, surely with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out, will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with a fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, and I will cause you to pass. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant, and I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Yeshurel, and ye shall not know that I am Yahuwah. As for you, O house of Yeshurel, thus saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, go, ye serve ye every one his idols, and hereafter also, if ye will not hearken unto me, but pollute ye my holy name, no more with your gifts and with your idols. For in mine holy mountain, in the mountains of the height of Yeshurel, saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, there shall all the house of Yeshurel, all of them in the land, serve me. There will I accept them, and there will I require your offerings and the first fruits of your oblations, with all your Baruch things. I will accept you with your sweet savor, when I bring you out from the people, and gather you out of the countries wherein ye have been scattered, and I will be sanctified in you before the heathen. And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I shall bring you into the land of Yeshurel, into the country for the which I lifted up mine hand to give it to your fathers. And there shall ye remember your ways and all your doings, wherein ye have been defiled, and ye shall loathe yourselves. Ye shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for all your evils that ye have committed. And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I have wrought with you for my name's sake, not according to your wicked ways, nor according to your corrupt doings, O ye house of Yeshurel, saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah. Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face toward the south, and drop thy word towards the south, and prophesy against the forest of the south field, and say to the forest of the south, Hear the word of Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah, HalleluYah, Behold, I will kindle a fire in thee, and it shall devour every green tree in thee, and every dry tree. The flaming flame shall not be quenched, and all faces from the south to the north shall be burned therein. And all flesh shall see that I am Yahuwah, have kindled it. It shall not be quenched. Then said I, Yahuwah, HalleluYah. They say of me, doth he not speak parables? Chapter 21. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face toward Jerusalem, and drop thy word toward the Baruch places, and prophesy against the land of Yeshurel, and say to the land of Yeshurel, Thus saith Yahuwah, Behold, I am against thee, and will draw forth my sword out of his sheath, and will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked. Seeing then that I will cut off wicked from thee, the righteous and the wicked, therefore shall my sword go forth out of his sheath against all flesh from the south to the north, that all flesh may know that I am Yahuwah, have drawn forth my sword out of his sheath, it shall not return any more. Sigh therefore, thou son of man, with the breaking of thy loins, and with bitterness sigh before their eyes. And it shall be, when they say unto thee, Wherefore sighest thou? That thou shalt answer, For the tidings, because it cometh, and every heart shall melt, and all hands shall be feeble, and every spirit shall faint, and all knees shall be weak as water. Behold, it cometh, and shall be brought to pass, saith Yahuwah HalleluYah. Again the word of Yahuwah come unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith Yahuwah, say a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It cometh the rod of my son, as every tree, and he hath given it to me, have given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished, to give it into the hand of the slayer. Cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Yasharel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh, because it is a trial. And what if the sword contemn even the rod? It shall be no more, saith Yahuwah HalleluYah. Thou therefore, son of man, prophesy, and smite thine hands together, and let the sword be doubled the third time, the sword of the slain. It is the sword of the great men that are slain, which entereth into their privy chambers. I have set the point of the sword against all their gates, that their heart may faint, and their ruins be multiplied. Ah, it is made bright. It is wrapped up for the slaughter. Go thee one way or other, either on the right hand or on the left, whithersoever thy face is set. I will also smite mine hands together, and I will cause my fury to rest. I, Yahuwah, have said it. The word of Yahuwah came unto me again, saying, Also, thou son of man, appoint thee 2 ways, that the sword of the king of Babylon may come. Both twain shall come forth out of one land, and choose thou a place. Choose it at the head of the way to the city. Appoint a way that the sword may come to Rabbath of the Ammonites, and to Judah and Jerusalem the defenced. For the king of Babylon stood at the parting of the way, at the head of the 2 ways. To use divination, he made his arrows bright. He consulted with images. He looked in the liver. At his right hand was the divination for Jerusalem, to appoint captain to open the mouth of the slaughter, to lift up the voice with shouting, to appoint battering rams against the gates, to cast them out, and to build a fort. And it shall be unto them as a false divination in their sight, to them that have sworn oaths, but he will call to remembrance the iniquity, that they may be taken. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah HalleluYah, because ye have made your iniquity to be remembered, in that your transgressions are discovered, so that in all your doings your sins do appear, because I say that ye are come to remembrance, ye shall be taken with the hand. And thou, profane, wicked prince of Israel, Yasharel, whose day is come when iniquity shall have an end. Thus saith Yahuwah HalleluYah, remove the diadem, and take off the crown. This shall not be the same. Exalt him that is low, and abase him that is high. I will overturn it, and it shall be no more until he come, whose right it is, and I will give it him. And thou, son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith HalleluYah, concerning the Ammonites, and concerning their reproach. Even say thou, the sword is drawn, for the slaughter it is furbished to consume because of the glittering. Whilst they see vanity unto thee, whilst they divine a lie unto thee, to bring thee upon the necks of them that are slain of the wicked, whose day is come, when their iniquity shall have an end. Shall I cause it to return into his sheath? I will judge thee in the place where thou wast created, in the land of thy nativity, and I will pour out mine indignation upon thee. I will blow against thee in the fire of my wrath, and deliver thee into the hand of brutish men, and skillful to destroy. Thou shalt be for fuel to the fire. Thy blood shall be in the midst of the land. Thou shalt be no more remembered, for I, Yahuwah, have spoken it. Chapter 22. Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Now thou son of man, wilt thou judge the bloody city? Yea, thou shalt shew her all her abominations. Then say thou, Thus saith HalleluYah, the city sheddeth blood in the midst of it, that her time may come, and maketh idols against herself to defile herself. Thou art become guilty in thy blood that thou hast shed, and hast defiled thyself in thine idols which thou hast made, and thou hast caused thy days to draw near, and art come even unto thy years. Therefore have I made thee a reproach unto the heathen, and a mocking to all countries, those that be near, and those that be far from thee shall mock thee, which are infamous and much vexed. Behold, the princes of Yasharel, every one were in thee to their power to shed blood. In thee have they set light by father and mother. In the midst of thee have they dealt by oppression with the stranger. In thee have they vexed the fatherless and the widow. Thou hast despised mine holy things, and hast profaned my Sabbaths. In thee are men that carry towels to shed blood, and in thee they eat upon the mountains. In the midst of thee they commit lewdness. In thee have they discovered their father's nakedness. In thee have they humbled her that was set apart for pollution. And one hath committed abomination with his neighbor's wife, and another hath lewdly defiled his daughter-in-law, and another in thee hath humbled his sister, his father's daughter. In thee have they taken gifts to shed blood. Thou hast taken usury and increase, and thou hast greedily gained of thy neighbors by extortion, and hast forgotten me, saith HalleluYah. Behold, therefore, I have smitten mine hand at thy dishonest gain which thou hast made, and at the blood which hath been in the midst of thee. Can thine heart endure, or can thine hand be strong? In the days that I shall deal with thee, I, Yahuwah, have spoken it, and will do it. And I will scatter thee among the heathen, and disperse thee in the countries, and will commune thy filthiness out of thee. And thou shalt take thine inheritance in thyself in the sight of the heathen. And thou shalt know that I am Yahuwah. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, the house of Yasharel is to me become dross. All they are brass, and tin, and iron, and lead. In the midst of the furnace, they are even the dross of silver. Therefore, thus saith HalleluYah, because ye are become dross, behold, therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to the to the to blow the fire upon it, to melt it. So will I gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof. And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. I, Yahuwah, have poured out my fury upon you. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto her, Thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. Her priests have violated my law and have profaned my holy, my Baruch things. They have put no difference between the Baruch and profane. Neither have they shewed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves ravening their prey, to shed blood and to destroy souls, and to get dishonest gain. And her prophets have daubed them with untempered mortar, seeing vanity and divining lies unto thee, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah, when Yahuwah hath not spoken. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and have vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge, and stand in the gap before me, for the land, that I should not destroy it. But I found none. Therefore have I poured out mine indignation upon them. I have consumed them with the fire of my wrath. Their own way have I recompensed upon their heads, saith Yahuwah. Chapter 23. The word of Yahuwah came again unto me, saying, Son of man, there were 2 women, the daughters of one mother, and they committed whoredoms in Egypt. They committed whoredoms in their youth. They were their breast pressed, and there they bruised the teats of their virginity. And the name of them were Aholah, and the elder, and Aholibah, her sister, and they were Mayan, and they bare sons and daughters. They were their names. Samaria is Aloha, and Jerusalem Aholibah. And Aholah played the harlot when she was Mayan, and she doted on her lovers, on the Assyrians her neighbors, which were clothed with blue captains and rulers, all of them desirable young men, horsemen riding upon horses. Thus she committed her whoredoms with them, with all of them that were the chosen men of Assyria, and with all on whom she doted. With all their idols she defiled herself. Neither left she her whoredoms brought from Egypt, for in her youth they lay with her, and they bruised the breast of her virginity, and poured their whoredom upon her. Wherefore I have delivered her into the hand of her lovers, into the hand of the Assyrians, upon whom she doted. These discovered her nakedness. They took her sons and her daughters, and slew her with the sword, and she became famous among women, for they had executed judgment upon her. And when her sister Aholibah saw this, she was more corrupt in her inordinate love than she, and in her whoredoms more than her sister in her whoredoms. She doted upon the Assyrians, her neighbors, captains and rulers, clothed most generously, horsemen riding upon horses, all of them desirable young men. Then I saw that she was defiled, that they took both one away, and that she increased her whoredoms, for when she saw men portrayed upon the wall, the image of the Chaldeans portrayed with vermilion, girded with girdles upon their loins, exceeding in dyed attire upon their heads, all of them princes, to look to after the manner of the Babylonians of Chaldea, the land of their nativity. And as soon as she saw them with her eyes, she doted upon them, and sent messengers unto them into Chaldea. And the Babylonians came to her into the bed of love, and they defiled her with their whoredom, and she was polluted with them, and her mind was alienated from them. So she discovered her whoredoms, and discovered her nakedness, that my mind was alienated from her, like as my mind was alienated from her sister. Yet she multiplied her whoredoms, in calling to remembrance the days of her youth, wherein she had played the harlot in the land of Egypt. For she doted upon their paramours, whose flesh is as the flesh of asses, and whose issue is like the issue of horses. Thus thou callest to remembrance the lewdness of thy youth, in bruising thy teats by the Egyptians for the paps of thy youth. Therefore, O HalleluYah, thus saith HalleluYah, behold, I will raise up thy lovers against thee, from whom thy mind is alienated, and I will bring them against thee on every side, the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekah and Shoah. And Koah, and all the Assyrians with them, all of them desirable young men, captains and rulers, great lords and renowned, all of them riding upon horses. And they shall come against thee with chariots, wagons, and wheels, and with an assembly of people, which shalt set against the buckler and shield and helmet round about. And I will set judgment before them, and they shall judge thee according to their judgments. And I will set my jealousy against thee, and they shall deal furiously with thee. They shall take away thy nose and thine ears, and thy remnant shall fall by the sword. They shall take thy sons and thy daughters, and thy residue shall be devoured by the fire. They shall also strip thee out of thy clothes, and take away thy fair jewels. Thus I will make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredom brought from the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thine eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt any more. For thus saith HalleluYah, behold, I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hatest, into the hand of them from whom my mind is alienated, and they shall deal with thee hatefully, and shall take away all thy labor, and shall leave thee naked and bare, and the nakedness of thy whoredoms shall be discovered, both thy lewdness and thy whoredoms. I will do these things unto thee, because thou hast gone a whoring after the heathen, and because thou art polluted with their idols. Thou hast walked in the way of thy sister, therefore will I give her cup into thine hand. Thus saith HalleluYah, thou hast drink thy sister's cup deep and large. Thou shalt be laughed to scorn, and had in derision. It containeth much. Thou shalt be filled with drunkenness and sorrow, with the cup of astonishment and desolation, with the cup of thy sister Samaria. Thou shalt even drink it and suck it out, and thou shalt break the sherds thereof, and pluck off thine own breasts. For I have spoken it, saith HalleluYah. Therefore thus saith HalleluYah, because thou hast forgotten me, and cast me behind thy back, therefore bear thou also thy lewdness and thy whoredoms. Yahuwah said moreover unto me, Son of man, wilt thou judge Aholah and Oholibah? Yea, declare unto them their abominations, that they have committed adultery, and blood is in their hands, and with their idols have they committed adultery, and have also caused their sons, whom they bear unto me, to pass for them through the fire, to devour them. Moreover, this they have done unto me. They have defiled my sanctuary in the same day, and have profaned my Sabbaths. For when they had slain their children to their idols, then they came the same day into my sanctuary to profane it, and lo, thus have they done it in the midst of mine house. And furthermore, that ye have sent for men, and come from far, unto whom a messenger was sent, and lo, they came, for whom thou didst watch thyself, paintedst thy eyes, and decketh thyself with ornaments, and satteth upon a stately bed, and a table prepared before it, whereupon thou hast set mine incense and mine oil. And a voice of a multitude being at ease was with her, and with the men of the common sort were brought Sabeans from the wilderness, which put bracelets upon their hands, and beautiful crowns upon their heads. Then said I unto her that was old in adulteries, will they now commit whoredoms with her, and she with them? Yet they went in unto her, as they go in unto a woman that playeth the harlot, so went they in unto Aholah and unto Oholibah, the lewd women. And the righteous men, they shall judge them after the manner of adulteresses, and after the manner of a woman that shed blood, because they are adulteresses, and blood is in their hands. For thus saith Yahuwah, I will bring up a company upon them, and will give them to be removed and spoiled. And the company shall stone them with stones, and dispatch them with their swords. They shall slay their sons and their daughters, and burn up their houses with fire. Thus will I cause lewdness to cease out of the land, that all women may be taught not to do after your lewdness. And they shall recompense your lewdness upon you, and ye shall bear the sins of your idols, and ye shall know that I am HalleluYah. Chapter 24. I think this is going to be the last chapter, guys, for tonight, Ezekiel 24. Again, in the ninth year, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of the month, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, write thee the name of the day, even of this same day. The king of Babylon set himself against Jerusalem this same day, and utter a parable unto the rebellious house, and say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah, set on a pot, set it on, and also pour water into it. Gather the pieces thereof into it, even ever good piece, the thigh and the shoulder. Fill it with the choice bones. Take the choice of the flock, and burn also the bones under. The bones under it, and make it boil well, and let them seeth the bones of it therein. Wherefore thus saith Yahuwah, woe to the bloody city, to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum is not gone out of it. Bring it out piece by piece. Let no lot fall upon it, for her blood is in the midst of her. She set it upon the top of a rock. She poured it not upon the ground, to cover it with dust, that it might cause fury to come up to take vengeance. I have set her blood upon the top of a rock, that it shall not be covered. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah, woe to the bloody city. I will even make the pile for fire great. Heap on wood, kindle the fire, consume the flesh, and spice it well, and let the bones be burned. Then set it empty upon the coals thereof, that the brass of it may be hot, and may burn, and that the filthiness of it may be molten in it, that the scum of it may be consumed. She hath whirled herself with lies, and her great scum went not forth out of her. Her scum shall be in the fire. In the filthiness is lewdness, because I have purged thee, and thou wast not purged. Thou shalt not be purged from thy filthiness any more, till I have caused my fury to rest upon thee. I, Yahuwah, have spoken it. It shall come to pass, and I will do it. I will not go back, neither will I spare, neither will I repent. According to thy ways and according to thy doings shall they judge thee, saith Yahuwah HalleluYah. Also the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire of thine eyes with a stroke, yet neither shalt thou mourn nor weep, neither shall thy tears run down. Forbear to cry, make no mourning for the dead. Bind the tire of thine head upon thee, and put on thy shoes upon thy feet, and cover not thy lips, and eat not the bread of men. So I spake unto the people in the morning, and at even my wife died, and I did it in the morning, and I was commanded. And the people said unto me, Wilt thou not tell us what these things are to us, that thou doest so? Then I answered them, The word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Speak unto the house of Yesharel. Thus saith Yahuwah HalleluYah, Behold, I will profane my sanctuary, the excellency of your strength, the desire of your eyes, and that which your soul pitieth. And your sons and your daughters whom ye have left shall fall by the sword, and ye shall do as I have done. Ye shall not cover your lips, nor eat the bread of men, and your tires shall be upon your heads, and your shoes upon your feet. Ye shall not mourn nor weep, but ye shall pine away for your iniquities, and mourn one toward another. Thus Ezekiel is unto you a sign. According to all that he hath done shall ye do. And when this cometh, ye shall know that I am Yahuwah HalleluYah. Also thou son of man, shall it not be in the day when I take from them their strength, the joy of their glory, and desire of their eyes, and the whereupon they set their minds, their sons and their daughters, that he that escapeth in that day shall come unto thee, to cause thee to hear it within thine ears. In that day shall thy mouth be open to him which is escaped, and thou shalt speak, and be no more dumb, and thou shalt be a sign unto them, and they shall know that I am Yahuwah. Well, family, we did up this chapter 24 today, and I'm just in Palal. I'm going to pray Palal that a lot of people get to see this, because you really do need to learn the heart of the Most High. And yeah, it's deep. And if you guys have any questions about any of the lives, just put it in the small group, and just message me, to approve it. And you know how we love to discuss things in the group. So, I'm on my lives, I'm not like young man. I just read it. I don't try to interpret it, because that's not he doesn't want me to do that, I don't think. So I listen, you know what I mean? But I do like to read it. And especially it's nice having to read with family. I love you guys so much, and because we just love him so much. I mean, we're just so Baruch that we know, and I love you all, and I hope you're all having a Baruch evening. Shalom, everyone. Good night.